Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. It's Financial Friday. Charlie, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, I love Financial Fridays with a peacock feather behind your head. Feathers and flowers. The peacock is very large. It's very
It
nice.
is incredibly large. This is
Yeah,
my attempt to do AI art. This
yeah,
is
it's like the old dinosaur peacocks that are extinct now, like Picosaurus or whatever it was.
this. I think I was playing around with design AI or something like the Chat GBT art offspin,
Wow,
and so I typed in purple iris and peacock watercolor, and this is what it generated.
beautiful.
It's odd, but it is interesting to look at. Yes.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have to spend money or take anything, and I feel like I'm on acid or something, or some drugs or something. It's nice.
uh, Yay for AI.
Yeah.
So I have the question I've got for you today is, I think, a little bit of a deep dive. It's kind of, let me give you a little bit of kind of background, and then we'll kind of deep dive into the tax treatment of annuities, right? So most of the time, you're putting someone into an annuity because they're coming to you and they've got an old 401k, they've got an IRA, and they're like, hey, I don't want to lose all my money when the market goes down.
Yeah.
Or I want to make sure I don't outlive my money. I want some guaranteed income. Okay, great. We can meet these needs, right? Um, it's already locked into this life insurance or into this retirement vehicle, and so you put them into an annuity. Now, you and I talk to people about the importance of divorcing yourself from the IRS and like what the value in that is, the freedom that it gives you. Hey, taxes go up, you don't care. But then there's the other side of it where somebody, for whatever the reason, may not want to do that, right?
Yep.
Or somebody else put them into an annuity and didn't talk to them about the value of kind of doing those Roth conversions. And so they're in this and they're trying to understand the product they have, and you need to be able to explain it to them. So let's deep dive into kind of the tax treatment of these different products, and how what kind of money you're putting in affects it, and then how the different products are treated.
Yeah, I mean, we could actually pretend and say we met somebody that had $100,000 in the bank, 100,000 in a Roth IRA, and 100,000 in an IRA or old
Yeah.
401k or something like that. They've got the three types of money, right? They have non-qualified. They've got Roth, which is weird because it's a qualified plan, but it's not pre-tax. It's after-tax money. And then they have any of the qualified plans, any of the pre-tax plans. And when I first learned in 2005, I studied cash value life insurance first, and it's all I did for 4 years, and later learned about annuities. And so I learned with cash value life insurance, it has a nice tax treatment called FIFO. Weird word. Sounds like I'm calling my dog. Come here, FIFO, but that's probably Fido, right? So I could get my dogs a sweater that say FIFO 1, 2, and 3 because they're all mini schnauzers. But we have FIFO means what? First in, first out. So if you put, let's just exaggerate, you put $100,000 a year for 5 years, you do a 5-pay cash value life insurance policy, index universal life, or whatever. Put in 500,000, let it grow for 30 years, turns into $2 million. You're allowed, but according to the IRS, you're allowed to take out your $500,000 of basis, your contributions, your own money, not the gains. You're allowed to take your basis out first. And that first in, first out is nice for taxes because
Right.
the money's tax free for a while. And that's why sometimes inside of index universal life insurance illustration software, you see it says basis and then convert to loans, or loans after basis, or it says something like that, where you're taking withdrawals and then you convert after you've used all the basis. We don't do that. We do loans the whole time, but you're allowed to take out your first in. Annuities, on the other hand, if you took the 100,000 in the bank, forget the Roth and the IRA, if you took $100,000 of non-qualified money, where someone sold a rental property and said, I'm going to buy annuities and have guaranteed rent, just income forever instead of stupid renters, right? That's from tenants, toilets, and trash to cruises, clubs, and cocktails. That move, right? So we have this non-qualified annuity goes into this non-qualified money goes into annuity. It's taxed LIFO, last in, first out. Well, if you put, say call it $500,000, you put the same $500,000 into an annuity, and then it grows to 2 million over 30 years. What's the last money in? The interest, the $1.5 million of gains. And non-qualified annuities are not even taxed on capital gains. They're taxed on interest or on income, the actual brackets, the income brackets. So I personally, because of last in, first out, and because of the way that non-qualified annuities are taxed, I don't do non-qualified annuities. And if I find people with non-qualified annuities, I try to take the 10% free withdrawal and have them buy life insurance over the next 10 years so that we can take that. For agents who are listening, don't make this mistake and use this to win the client, to show them that you know what you're talking about and they're safe with you. So we're never going to take clean after-tax money that can either be tax-free in life insurance or municipal bonds or whatever, or you can use for contributions to Roth. We're never going to take clean money that's either tax-free or taxed at capital gains rates. Right now, that's 15 or 20%. And buy an annuity where then all of a sudden you're into the brackets that go up to 37 right now and are going to go up in 2026. I'm hurting you if I do that. Agents will do it. There's no underwriting. You make a commission really quick. It's easy to sell, right? But you're hurting the customer. So FIFO, LIFO, life insurance annuities generally, right? First in, first out, or last in, first out is what that means. And it really has to do with, you have to take out, can you take the basis out first, or do you have to take your gains out first? And that affects your tax. It is really hard, by the way. We like to do tax planning. We like to win clients on my team, on our team, right? We like winning clients by saying, if you're a client of ours, we're going to do the whole tax plan for you. We'll get you into a 0% tax bracket. That is really hard with a non-qualified annuity. Because how are you going to do that? Like, how do you know what the taxes are every year? It's like, you put in a certain amount of money and it makes some income. Say it has an income rider. They turn on this ripping high income. We have to take your gains out every year, right? And at some point, the income's so high that you're down, the account starts to get down, and now you're into basis. So it was 100% tax-free. And now it's like no taxes the next year on your income. And the next year, the market makes you a little bit of money, makes you 10 grand. You take 20 out, and 10 of it is gains, and 10 is your basis, and half of it's tax. Like, what? How do you do tax planning with non-qualified annuities? Very hard. Roth and IRA are easy, though. You know, Roth anywhere, it's always tax-free. IRA anywhere is always taxable. Doesn't matter if you put into an annuity or real estate or whatever your options are, the market. And you can do Roth conversions. You can turn that thing into a Roth, you know, that IRA. You can't take a non-qualified annuity and turn it into a Roth.
Right. So, okay, so you've actually touched on a couple things. I want to do a little bit of a deeper dive. So let's kind of work backwards. So you said, hey, you can't take a non-qualified annuity and turn it into a Roth. So somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I have one, you know, I sold my last house and someone helped me put it into an annuity. I want to do the same thing again. Right? You're going to tell them, hey, not such a good idea. And here's why. We just talked about that. But yet they have an annuity already where they took good, clean cash and they stuffed it in there. And so now there's all of the tax implications that we were just talking about, right? Where once they start taking that income stream. So how would you advise them? How would you manage a situation like that?
So if somebody had a non-qualified annuity, it's particularly easy if they don't have an income rider attached to it. If it's just a straight variable annuity with no income rider, or it's a indexed annuity with no income rider. If it's out of surrender, it's much easier because it's just this pile of cash like a brokerage account. You could use it in a number of different ways. You could use it as the spend down plan in the beginning years of retirement where they're spending money and trying to keep taxes low while doing Roth conversions. You could use it to pay for the taxes on Roth conversions. You could take the money out, 10% free withdrawal, or over a 5-year period. And, you know, what's a Roth conversion on a non-qualified annuity? Well, it doesn't exist, but we can create one as agents, take the money out and use it as premium for a 3 to 5 pay indexed universal life policy, right? Take it from where it is that if it ever grows, taxes are due, and move it systematically to universal life insurance where taxes are never due. So you can convert to the same tax treatment as a Roth IRA, moving it into life insurance. It's not a Roth, right? So how can you use a non-qualified annuity when you meet somebody who already has one? One, let's say it's from 20 years ago and it has an income rider that you could never beat. It was rolling up at 8.2% for 30 years, no limit, no 10-year limit, nothing. They just have this crazy high income. You know, the guy that wins the lottery for $900 million and has an income that's taxable, he's not mad. Like, I'll pay taxes. I'm rich, baby. Right. So you have this crazy annuity that's it's a oldie but goodie. You don't want to replace it. They're going to have super high income and have to pay taxes, but we could never beat it with anything new. What's the one thing you could do? Non-qualified annuity, leave it alone. If it has the income rider, and say that's going to be part of your income. There are taxes, but that's going to be part of your income. Let's get the rest of your tax plan right. You know, you might have an annuity that's not, like, it doesn't have an income rider, let's say, or it has a bad income rider. We could beat it. You understand? It's single life or level income instead of increasing, something like that. And it's in surrender. It still has penalties. We can take money out on the 10% free withdrawal schedule until the penalties are done and move it somewhere. Now that could be, say it's big. Say it's a $400,000 accumulation value, but it's a bad annuity. You can take $40,000 a year and buy a bunch of little new annuities every year. You know, right now we have 2 or 3 we really like with increasing either super high participation rates, 300% participation in an index, or increasing income after year 11. There's some we really like. Every year they could buy a small annuity, but we're still stuck in that non-qualified, annuity income, that income tax. So you can take money out and buy cash value life insurance, right? So if somebody has $400,000 in a non-qualified annuity and there's still 5 years on surrender, you can build the life insurance policy to hold the entire 400, to put it all in over 5 years. You just do 40,000 a year, 40,000 a year, 40,000 a year, 40,000 a year, and then all the rest in year 5. You do catch up, you use the catch up provisions, and just as soon as you're allowed with no penalties, you lump sum fund that thing in year 5, Or you and I know you could do premium financing if you have to take it out over a 10-year period. Say they bought it last year and it's terrible, but they put 400 grand in, so they can take 40,000 a year for 10 years, and it's not going to be out of surrender. You could do premium financing for 5 years, where they pay the 40,000 in, they take a 10% free withdrawal, pay 40,000, a bank matches it, and after 5 years they're done, and the bank puts in 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, 80,000 for 5 more years. But what do they do in year 6? Another one, do another premium financing. So I think, me personally, you're hearing of the flavor of it. I think non-qualified annuities that are not worth keeping, they don't have a ripping high income rider that makes it worth the taxes they'll pay. You're either systematically taking withdrawals out to have no penalties to fund something better, which is going to be cash value life insurance, tax-free, or the magic of tax-free retirement planning. One of the main moves is, you're making $200,000 a year on Friday and you quit. Now it's Monday and you have no taxable income. That means all the tax brackets are available for doing Roth conversions. You got an IRA, like a guy I talked to yesterday, IRA for $926,000. What if you live off of that non-qualified annuity distributions? You live off of that money and you stay in that low tax bracket, and that low tax bracket allows you to do Roth conversions on the IRA at 10, 12, 22%. So it's either spend it down slowly to invest somewhere else, or spend it down slowly in the early years of retirement, something along those lines.
Wow, I love it. That is some really good kind of variety of strategies to bring to the table. And I feel like you're more likely to run into someone that has a non-qualified annuity than, say, someone that has this humongous Roth account. Well, they are there, but it's, a little bit less common. People are less likely to be like, oh, I'm going to take this old 401k and I'm going to just go ahead and roll it all over, versus we told, let's do this rollover. Let's buy this annuity or whatever. So yeah, that's great.
We love life insurance. We love annuities, but I really love comprehensive financial planning. And I came from a real estate and mortgage background. And we never want, as fiduciaries or advisors, to put ourselves in a box and go, well, what recommendations can I make but I make sure I get paid commissions on, right?
Yeah.
At least I don't do that. So another just fun way to think, if somebody has an investment that's just not great, let's say that $400,000 non-qualified annuity doesn't have a good income rider, and you start thinking, well, how much more house could you afford with an extra $40,000 a year going to the mortgage? Could you buy a fourplex? Like I'm looking at right now. Could you buy a fourplex in Orlando? Or exactly where I'm looking. Can I buy a fourplex in Orlando? Still residential loan, normal conventional financing. Can I buy a fourplex and rent them out on Airbnb, and each one of them makes $2,000 or $3,000 a month? All of a sudden, that's going to kick the crud out of that annuity, right? And you go, well, for the first 10 years, the mortgage is paid, you know?
Yeah.
So, or even, can I buy a 7-bedroom house and rent 3 bedrooms out? I saw yesterday, very weird. I don't know why. I saw a 3-bedroom home. I don't know why, with a separate 1-bedroom apartment with its own kitchen and a 2-bedroom house on the other side with its own kitchen. That's small for a house with a granny flat, right? And I don't know why, but think about that. To buy the two-bedroom, 2-bath with a normal kitchen, and then you have the other one in Orlando or someplace. And there's ways, by the way, to go online and see the best markets for that kind of thing. But I like thinking outside of the box a little bit, you know? Can I take money out December? Can I take money out the day before the anniversary, $40,000, and the day after the anniversary, $40,000, and I have $80,000? Can I go make a down payment on a home and buy it with a reverse mortgage and live there for free and never pay a mortgage for the rest of my life? Because you buy a $160,000 house in Idaho or wherever, you know, if you live somewhere where houses aren't $500,000, right? Like, what's the best use of the dollar? What is the best use? They used to teach us that in real estate. What's the best use of this property? You've got skyscrapers on every side of you, and you have a single-story house from the 50s.
Yeah.
The best use of that land is to knock the house down and build a skyscraper as far as investing is concerned, right? Same with dollars. What's the best use of this dollar? When we talk to people about don't ever take money out of the market and make extra principal payments on your mortgage, if your mortgage is at 3 or 4, don't take dollars that could be invested at 6, 7, 8 and save 3 or 4. It's not the best use of the dollar, right? Same thing with every dollar inside of something like that, an annuity. What's this dollar best for? To stop me from ever making a mortgage again, to create the ability to earn rent on 3 extra units, to move from here where it's taxable somewhere tax-free, right? Yeah. What do I do with this dollar? Now, that's very hard for the consumer to ever do on their own. They can never think globally like that, like an architect. That's our job. That's why we champion merit planning and becoming a financial architect, is guide people, show them their options, and have them go, geez, Lou, I never knew I could do that.
Well, and I think that you have to be a little bit of a nerd in the space in order to spend enough time thinking about it and thinking about, like you said, the big picture, really looking globally, but then to think about it enough that all those pieces start coming together. I was working with somebody last month, and we got them a really good plan, right? It was not perfect. Didn't quite get them to where they wanted, but they could make it do. They were like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. I can retire. I was hoping for better, but I'm all right with it. And then they had to travel for work, and, let's retouch base in a month. And so I just kept kind of thinking about their plan, right? Because it was just on my mind, and I kept looking. And in that month, I have since been able to find a product that I said, hey, yes, it's going to lower my commission a little bit, but we can divide up. Instead of putting all of this into life insurance, we can split this up. And here suddenly it closes the gap. It makes up the difference in those first few years, which is really where the pain point was, So I have a meeting with them next week, and we're going to look at, okay, look, I found this, but like you said, they're not going to they would never have found it on their own, because they're having a life and doing things and going to work and thinking about their job, not, sitting there drinking a cup of coffee thinking, I wonder what it would happen if let's run an illustration and see what this looks like, just putting the time and energy enough into caring about it. And then looking at the big picture, not looking at the commission.
Yeah. What makes great food? I'm a total amateur chef. I love cooking. I've watched every Iron Chef, Japanese and American. I've watched all this. I just if I go to a hotel, I'm turned on cooking shows, guys, grocery games. I just want to watch people cook, right? And what makes incredible food, the quality of the ingredients and the skill of the chef. Now, the incredible chefs can go on guys' grocery games or something, and they make them use canned things and instant and put Twinkies in it. Like, they can take kind of crappy ingredients, and because of the skill of the chef, they can make something kind of wonderful out of it. But if you gave them good ingredients and they use the same skills, it's magical, right? So what we do is art. It's not like go to your annuity quote engine and quote annuity. So I'm competing against another advisor with one of our Facebook leads, and the guy's telling the customer to take $300,000, and he's using this software, same software we would use to compare income riders. He says, put it in, turn the income on for life, and here's the top 3. So he's turning it on in month 1, like in the very first year. I said, okay, like the products, I don't hate what's happening. I certainly don't hate the use of the engine, the computer to compare things. It's better. But the lowest income you could ever possibly get from any chunk of money is to put it into an annuity with an income rider. Well, from annuities, put it in and turn the income on immediately from the rider. You're better off leaving 20,000 out, putting 280 in, live on 20,000, and let the 280 cook for 1 year, and then turn the rider on. Same 3 products, design, skill of the chef, right?
Yep.
Oh, and I said, you know what else you're better off doing? You're better off probably taking this thing that agents hate because it has a low commission called a SPIA, like a 5-year SPIA. Better off buying the income for the first 5 years. You need 20,000 a year for 5 years. Give $93,000 to an insurance company, and agents are like, "Boo! The commission's only 1.5%, 2.5%." Right? But that's flattering. Give them 5 years of income another way, and then put the rest into this income annuity and give that thing 5 years to cook return on the guaranteed income, right? Or as do a 10-year or 5 years in a row, and then let it cook for 10 years. And then you turn on the increasing income from Athene or Allianz or somebody like that. So we're artists, and the customer, one, could never do it. One, because they haven't been trained as an artist, right? 2, they don't even have access to products. What's out? Like, they have no ingredients. They just have Google. And what their dad told them, which is that mutual fund, or God forbid, Dave Ramsey, if they're paying attention to that booger, you know what I mean? Like, the market goes up at 12%. Right, go to jail. 12%? It does not go up at 12%. It's up 6.25 for this entire century. So it's impossible for the consumer. Yeah. Now, we're in sales. People and families make really stupid decisions. Like, it's the bane of my existence to show people, oh, I can solve all your problems if you just do this. And they go, I'd talk to my neighbor. I'm not gonna make any moves right now. I like pain. I like to suffer in the market and play golf with my stupid broker, right? It's just our life. I don't know why. I'll be on my deathbed asking God, why don't people make decisions? But that's also every parent lives in the same world, right? We're really just talking about trying to lead human beings that you care about, and watching them hurt themselves is part of the human experience. You do it with your kids, and we do it with our customers, right?
Yes.
Because they don't just hurt themselves; they hurt us, both prospects and kids that do stupid things. You know how much your mistake is costing me, dummy? You never say that to the customer, but I thought it.
Well, and you don't really say that to your kids either. You say, "Okay, did you learn from this?"
No, well, some parents do. You know what it feels like? Do you know how much it hurts mommy to? No, I'll do that.
They say, "Yeah, I don't care. I'm the kid."
Yeah, you just say, "How's that working out for you?" Like, this is what I like. How's that working out for you? How do you feel? How do you act, and who do you become when you believe that?
Well, I appreciate this. This was really good. Anything else you want to talk about or dive into on this one?
No, it's just like we're working on our college with 4 semesters, for like certified merit planners and certified merit planning architects. I've got the entire thing laid out. My CEO and I, Bobby, had started that a while ago, and he's been away for 7 weeks working with one of our biggest customers. And I've been working on that with another coach that we have. And at some point we'll have something more official, but the message I have for everybody, no matter what company you work for, if you're listening, if you're in the industry and you want to be on the come over to the light side, you want to be on the side that tells the truth and really it's like missionary work, like retirement missionary work to like save these souls and tell them the truth in this dark, dark world. Master your craft. Master your craft. Like work on your confidence, work on your credibility. And if you don't have credibility yet on the internet, borrow it from somebody else, work with a group that when people search the group, they find all kinds of great stuff on the group, at least,
Yeah.
Credibility and confidence and closing ratio and cash. Make sure you're getting paid what you're worth, that your contracts are as high as possible. Because guess what that extra 30-40% does? It allows you to go help more families or pay for more training and get more certifications. Be the Michael Jordan of retirement planning, 3rd degree black belt, month-of-sale annuities, and life insurance. Let me be on a soapbox here for a minute. We get to not just protect families, right? That's what life insurance does. You protect a family, but we also give them permission and we provide for families. We're the ones that can tell them, if you know your craft, go, you can retire right now. You just told me you think you can't retire in 5 or 10 years. I can retire you right now on 63% of the money you have, which still leaves 37 to lose or play with or give away or buy rental units or invest in goats or whatever you want to do. You can do anything you want to with it. Like you have twice the money you need to retire. Once you won the game, go to the after party. We get to be retirement planning Santa Claus if you master your craft. That's why I like to play at such a high level. And it's also fun, by the way, to be the advisor in their life that knows more than every other advisor that you're competing with, and to be able to just say, keep coming back. I'll keep crushing as many plans as you want and spanking these other advisors. I don't mind. Go get 100 plans. It's cool. I'm going to beat it.
I think that is the perfect message to end on. Be a master of your craft and really see it as that, because it's so much more than just stick numbers into a computer and sell them on whatever it spits out. Like that's only the very basics. And then you have to be the chef and really create something with those ingredients.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Charlie. Have an amazing and wonderful weekend. And I will see you next week, hopefully.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.